Good evening, everybody. I'm Redrick Terry. Thanks for joining us for Local 4 News at 5.
It is crest day along the Mississippi River, and so far it is expected to be a record breaker. Across the country and the world, healthcare providers are experiencing a shortage in critical protective equipment, and that's why people not only here in the Quad Cities but all over are stepping up to answer the call.
And now we have more flooding.
Yeah, the water didn't take long to cover River Drive in Moline and cause issues for drivers. One family had to be rescued after trying to drive through the standing water right in front of the Tax Layer Center.
Illinois lawmakers are proposing a bill that calls for schools to add sexting to their sex education classes.
More people are trying to carry weapons onto planes. That's according to the TSA. People all across the country will be hitting the polls next Tuesday for the midterm elections. Joining us now is Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds. She and Democratic candidate Fred Hubbell are in a tight battle with election night coming.
They're part of that HESCO barrier that's been keeping this floodwater from coming up to this point in Davenport did fail, sending these floodwaters up near downtown.
Many people spent yesterday finding ways to protect our planet, but one Rock Island woman is on a mission to make a difference year-round.
Good morning, Alexandria. Welcome to Aledo, Illinois. They've called this place the rhubarb capital of the entire state of Illinois. And guess what? They're about to show you why as we move on later on today. We will give you details on how you can get involved in that and how you can potentially bring one of these pups home. They make great teammates, in case you didn't know.
I made a bet with the director of this show.
You bet on the Bears. That was your mistake.
Mean guy this is, so I have to do this.
Oh, how does it feel, Redrick?
Under that cheese head.
I actually feel like I'm going to be sick.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I could, listen,
Okay.
these pants.
It's a challenge now.
There you go. To the legs. What do we got to do?
Turn around halfway, right off the back.
See, there you go.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Good job.
You know, not only did the Bears win, but the Vikings, the Lions, and that green team all lost.
Oh, wow, that is quite the victory Monday for you.
It's a fantastic day.
While we're at it, banana splits.
Disgusting.
Get rid of those too.
It's nasty.
That's way too much different ice cream with a piece of fruit on it. Stop it.
Thank you.
Coming
Thank
up.
Across the country and the world, healthcare providers are experiencing a shortage in critical protective equipment, and that's why people not only here in the Quad Cities but all over are stepping up to answer the call. Hi, how are you?
Good.
Meet Tracy Parsons. She and her husband Barry live in Wheatland.
This was a previous hoard, but I'm willing to share it now.
She says after seeing the need for equipment like masks in the Quad Cities, she knew she had to help.
I'm really glad to give them to a cause that will be of such good use. I mean, they'll immediately go to use to people who need them, wherever they need them.
Parsons is a former seamstress. She also says she was recently diagnosed with cancer, so this donation means more to her.
I just really liked this one, but never quite got around to putting her to use, so maybe one of my doctors will have it on.
Donations like the one from the Parsons family are exactly what Lori Beeman and the people at the Freight House Farmers Market are asking for.
It's community helping our own community. You know, we want to be able to, lift up our healthcare workers.
And as Sean Taylor from Community Healthcare says, that global need for equipment is not lost on healthcare workers in our area.
We don't know when we're going to reach the apex of this whole situation. So being able to look and know we have supplies waiting in the wings is huge.
And that's where the people of the Quad Cities step in, as they do so often, helping out whenever they can, however they can.
So if everybody can just give the little bit they can, it's going to be better for everyone involved.
In Davenport, Redrick Terry, Local 4 News.
A big problem in a small town, how Fulton police are working to crack down on meth crimes. The state of Rock Island, what big changes people who live there could see in 2020. And one local nonprofit is branching out to share its cause, how every new follow on social media could make our environment a little bit better. Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
WHBF is local for you. This is Local 4 News at 5.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Redrick Terry. Thanks for joining us for Local 4 News at 5. Jim and Ann have the evening off. Let's get to your top story now. Meth is becoming a big problem for one small town in Illinois. What Fulton police are doing to crack down on it is the top story at 5 o'clock. Police say it's a problem impacting the entire community, and it's not going anywhere. They've already made 5 arrests since December 13th. Local 4's Aaliyah Sims has more now on their efforts to make Fulton a safer place for families. Authorities say most of the meth arrests come from traffic stops. They say it's important to lock your vehicles and keep your belongings secure as well. A 15-year-old is in big trouble after this. This accident happened Saturday around 9 in Sterling. Illinois State Police say the 15-year-old lost control on an icy Interstate 39 and slid under this Walmart semi. The driver was cited for several things, including no license or permit and no insurance. 41-year-old Kevin Lawrence was a passenger in that car. He was ticketed for allowing an unauthorized person to drive. They were both treated for minor injuries. Remember to forward it to Local 4 if you see news happening around you. Do that by downloading the free Our Quad Cities app. You can get notifications for breaking news and also share stories you want to see highlighted here on Local 4. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Rock Island's mayor is looking back at the successes of 2019 while looking ahead to 2020. Mayor Mike Tomes gave his annual State of the City address at the Quad City Botanical Center today. Tomes says last year several new commercial businesses moved to Rock Island and existing businesses expanded at their current locations. He says this resulted in more than $30 million in capital investment by private companies, adding hundreds of jobs. That being said, Tomes says there is still room to grow.
There is ways to bring some bigger businesses into Rock Island. It may not be retail big business. It may be industrial type. And when I say big, more in the industrial side, we call it small to medium size. But for the city here, it'd be large. But we've had great successes last year with it, with Agri Solutions, with GTI, to give an example of 2 larger ones making moves to Rock Island.
Tomes says the inspections department will also work hard to make sure both new construction and existing buildings meet code and are safe. Illinois lawmakers are proposing a bill that calls for schools to add sexting to their sex education classes. The proposal would affect students from grades 6 through 12. Noel Forty reports. That's Noel Forty reporting. And a study in the American Medical Association shows 15% of teenagers say they've sent a sexual text. Meanwhile, Iowa lawmakers went back to work in Des Moines today for the first session of the new decade. Lawmakers say they've heard Iowans' concerns on the workforce shortage, child care costs, and taxes, and they're ready to meet those challenges. It is an election year, of course, for lawmakers, so voters will decide whether or not to keep Republicans in control of the House and Senate for another 2 years. Turning now to your local election headquarters, and 3 weeks out from the Iowa caucus, there's now one less Democrat in the race for president. New Jersey Senator Cory Booker announcing today he's dropping out of the race. He says it was a difficult decision to make, but he didn't have the financial backing to continue. Booker also says impeachment proceedings in Washington will keep him from campaigning. There are now 12 Democrats running for president. 6 of them will be on the debate stage tomorrow night in Des Moines. They include former Vice President Joe Biden, Senator Bernie Sanders, Senator Elizabeth Warren, Mayor Pete Buttigieg, businessman Tom Steyer, and Senator Amy Klobuchar. Meanwhile, the latest poll in Iowa by the Des Moines Register and CNN shows Sanders taking the lead in Iowa. He has 20% support, followed by Warren with 17%. Buttigieg has 16% support. That's followed by Joe Biden. An area nonprofit wants your follow on social media for a good cause. Living Lands and Waters is known for cleaning up the Mississippi River and planting trees throughout the Midwest. The organization's been helping the environment since 1998, and this time it's using Instagram to raise awareness. New followers will have a tree planted in their honor. Local 4's Carla Sosa joins us now in the studio with more on that. Carla? Forward to see how that project turns out. Carla, thank you. Also looking forward to what it'll be like outside when they finally do get to planting some of those trees.
I was thinking you were going to say spring or something along those
Yeah.
lines.
Be nice, right?
Not quite there yet. It was above average, though, at least for the middle of January today, but still an active weather pattern here over the next few days. So another chance for rain and snow comes in tonight.